All right, welcome back to the senior panel and conversation. So now we're going to transition to the deeper, more hard-hitting aspect of this. But before we talk about the normal high school experience and some of what you've learned in high school, we got to start with the elephant in the room first. So obviously, hopefully, you are the only class of seniors that will ever experience something like this. That is the hope. We have no idea what 2021 is going to look like yet. But if I can breathe anything into existence and prophesy anything into existence, it's that this year's juniors, next year's seniors will have a normal high school senior year experience. We can't predict that, but hopefully that is the way it'll be. So let's start with the elephant in the room. For any of you, how do you think the ending of high school has been affected and changed based on what you were expecting? Kind of like, how has it changed your experience of high school, if at all?
For me, at least, I was really, especially this year, I definitely stopped caring about school, and it was all about, social aspects. And I don't know, it was as the year was going on, it got more exciting because there were more plans coming, such as, prom and weekend trips and everything, and it was all just winding down to be a big, social time. And so, just looking forward to this time of the year. It sort of changed my perspective from oh, this will be the peak to okay, the entire thing was what it was. It wasn't just coming down to this.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me and for a lot of my friends, it's been, you work real hard first semester to get your grades where they need to be, not so that you can slack off or anything, but just so that you don't have to bust your butt all the time second semester. And then, March 13th hit and we just didn't go back to school. So for me, at least, it made the schoolwork side of things much less important, and just spending time either virtually or just spending time with my family and my friends coming and hanging out in the front yard or whatever became really important, and realizing what you really need in life versus all of the extra fluff that we take on when we're actually going to school, which I thought was really important and really interesting to get that point of view before we go into college.
Yeah, I think my school hasn't really changed much because we were practically getting assignments through, computers. And we've had all the time, besides the time that we're in a class, we've had all the time to work on them. So the only difference is, and I think this is true for everyone, but, I'm not in the same room with my teacher anymore, but that's pretty much the only difference for me. And I don't find it really any harder. I just notice Jade said, the personal interaction really gets on you from time to time, because it's kind of strange to, be stuck around your family all the time, but not be able to see anyone else during the time.
So with that, let's have this be for all of you, just one thing. As you think about the end of your senior year and your experience of high school, just share maybe the thing you were looking forward to the most that has not or will not be able to take place. So all five of you take a second, and then when you're ready, chime in. It's what's that one experience or event, could be big, could be small, that you were really looking forward to that you totally did not get a chance to experience because of the great pause of 2020?
I personally was pretty dang pumped about prom. That was a no-go, but yeah.
I'm tossing between my play that I'm in and prom. They were both pretty big parts of my life that I was really excited for.
Yep, especially because you were the lead in that play, right?
Yeah, I was one of the leads.
Yep.
So that big bummer.
For me, I think it was the end of my the theater program that I do outside of school because I've been with them for so long, and so it was like having some sort of like conclusion with that, and like a send off. And then I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I'm bummed about at least a month so far being canceled of camp.
I think for me, this kind of sounds, I don't know, a little bit cheesy, but the best way I know how to explain it is, so you have your friends that you hang out with outside of school and that you see regularly, and then you have your friends that you've been going through school with since you were in kindergarten, and you don't hang out with them or anything, but you see them in the hallways sometimes and you know who each other are. And I think the hardest part for me has been realizing that I'm not going to get a chance to say bye to them and, you know, have a nice life or whatever. And we've known each other at this point for 13, 14 years. Yeah. And so it's just going to be, see you never, I'm going to college, and probably never living close to y'all again. And I'm not going to be able to say, you know, see ya. Yeah. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot on my mind, you know, that I was looking forward to other than spending time with a lot of other people. But I think the one event that I was really looking forward to is my family was supposed to go up to Gatlinburg, and I think it's still on because, you know, it's this summer, and it shouldn't be a problem by the time it comes around in, what is it, August, I think, early August. Anyhow, but we had a bunch of trouble trying to figure out, you know, whether or not they're still going to accept our payment for renting a lodge or anything like that. So that's probably the one thing I was looking forward to most, besides, you know, graduation itself.
Yep, senior year is the transition from, like, not that you cease being a part of your family unit, but from here on out, it's a different experience with your family unit, especially when you're coming back from college. Summers look differently. Everything with it starts to change a little bit. So even it's the last family trips, potentially, the last family vacations in a normal way that you were used to. So everything just can kind of look differently from here on out. But not everything is doom and gloom in this season. So even though there's stuff that you are missing out on that you were looking forward to, that hopefully, you know, the following senior classes get to experience, maybe what's like one unexpected blessing that you've got to experience in this season that a senior normally wouldn't get to experience? So something that on the more positive side that due to this will kind of highlight your senior experience that some other classes are not going to get to experience because of the world that we find ourselves in today.
I think for me, oh, you go.
No, you're good.
So I think for me, it's like I said earlier, the understanding that you don't need all of the extra, all of the, you know, extracurricular activities and doing this club and this service hour to check off boxes on a college resume. You should, I mean, and that's what our culture has become is, you know, I'm going to do this so that I can check this box off, and this college is going to want me more if I have this GPA. I think that slowing down and taking time and realizing that that's not everything. Once you get out of college, once you get into college, no one cares what your high school GPA was or what you got on the ACT or the SAT. And you start to realize, hey, these are the people that are really important to me, and this is the stuff that I really need to learn, versus having a life that's 900 miles an hour all the time. You can only live in the fast lane so long. And so, I mean, for me, that was a positive, for sure.
Sort of similar, but but just like free time, because he was saying how it's like very crazy. And it is, and I was excited for the more craziness. But in a way, the like the figuring out like what do I want to do when I have endless time, and then like doing it and going and achieving like weird goals. I don't know, it's really nice just to have like a chill out time or period to like figure out like almost to settle down from the craziness of high school to like get ready for the craziness of like the new kind of craziness that'll be this summer in college and stuff.
Yeah,
I think
I feel like I got a lot closer with my a lot of my friends through like the sad times that we're in. Like the amount of Zoom calls that I've been on with my friends, just like even though we're not physically with each other, I just feel like I've gotten a lot closer with my friends, and like I've developed like new hobbies and stuff since I can't like go anywhere. Like I started playing chess, which is like the weirdest thing, but like I really enjoy playing chess now. So yeah.
I think it's funny. I saw a video that Matthew McConaughey posted, and I hadn't even thought about this, but if all goes well, will be the only class ever that either doesn't have a graduation or has an altered graduation. Which kind of blew my mind. Like we're originals and we probably will be the only ever.
Yep. Hopefully.
That doesn't really make me happy though. Like I don't, yeah.
but it's interesting.
I'm sure this will happen later on.
Molly, do you have thoughts you were going to share?
Oh yeah, that I think that it's been a cool experience to try and figure out different ways to be with people. And I've also learned like the importance of community and also of slowing down. And I think those are lessons that it's like I kind of knew, but I had to be like strongly reminded in this time. And so then I can have my priorities straight a little bit more for college.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to end this one on a sadder note and a more somber note. And then when we pick back up in video number 3 of our senior panel, we're going to start hopping into some of the highlights of the whole high school experience. So check us back when video 3 drops, everybody, and we will catch you in a minute.